These 8 duelists took their time, polished their skills, built the best strategies to compete in the YCS championship. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for stopping on by. This is the top 8. And these are the top 8 duelists, starting with our first pair. Now, usually we do this in a different setting. We usually do one-for-one interviews. But this time, we'll be doing both at the same time. So who are you, where are you from?
My name is Joshua Schmidt and I'm from Germany.
Okay, awesome. We probably had him, you've probably seen him a few times on. And who are you and where are you from?
My name's Khalil St. Ange and I'm from England.
Oh, so from backyard, huh? You're right around the corner. All right, all right. How do both of you feel about this event right now?
It's been going pretty well, yeah. I'm very happy with it.
Well, I mean, make it in the top 8 spot, huh?
Yeah, it feels really, really good. I'm really happy so far with the event. It's my first top, so.
First top. Oh, my God. Good luck to you, man. Good luck to the both of you. Thank you for coming on. Let's head on to the next pair. No, I'm going to be directing the same question to you two. Yeah. Who you guys are and where you from?
I'm Ding Kang Pham and I'm from Germany, Wilhelmshaven.
Specific state? What's it like there, actually?
It's like really cold because I live at the beach and it's way in the north of Germany.
Okay. Well, I mean, no. At least you have pretty interesting summers, I guess. What did the event been like for both of you? Oh, actually, almost ignore him over there. Where are you from?
I'm from France. Where Barbary has a house.
Just above, right? Just above.
No, I mean, so for France, where Marcelo have house. You know the reference?
Oh, okay.
From Nice.
Okay. What's your name, by the way?
Lucas Lancelot.
Lucas Lancelot.
Yeah.
Like
Like the Noble Knight, yeah.
like the Noble Knight. Lancelot like the Noble Knight. That's pretty cool. What did you guys think of the event, actually?
It's pretty good, except that some people can't register, but it's the Yu-Gi-Oh! Is getting bigger, so it's like normal, but overall it's pretty good.
And Dinka, what do you think?
Yeah, I also like it really much, but I was really sad that many of my friends didn't make it into the registration early enough.
But I mean, at least you got in. You still got to be able to play a bit, and you made it into the top 8. That's still a pretty crowning achievement. Your friends have to be happy, have to be happy for you. So thank you guys for coming on. And now to our next pairs. Now, same question, same verse as the first. Who are you and where are you from?
I'm Pascal and I'm from Germany.
Pascal.
Yeah.
And you?
I'm Emidio and I'm from Italy.
Okay, men of very few words. What's the event been like for you? What, like the decks that you've picked, do you think that you still have a shot of getting into potentially the top 4? Are you guys going to go for it? Or you're like, I made a top, I'm okay?
I'll try to win everything. I think my deck is good. I trust my friends who told me how to play my deck. Yeah, I'm having fun all the weekend, so I'll try my best.
And you?
Yeah, until now I'm undefeated, so I think I made the right choice. So, yeah, that's it.
Okay, undefeated player, making a deep run for it. Thank you for coming on, guys. And now to our last pair. Okay. Hi, how you doing, David? Well, you know, it's not a secret. We just had him on, David Ibsen from Swiss. And now we'll actually have on Tom. He was on as well. I mean, both of you probably know who they are, but we have you introduce themselves again. Who are you and where are you from?
I'm David Erpen, I'm from Switzerland, and I'm looking forward for this match.
And you, sir?
I'm Tom from Germany, and yeah, I'm looking for taking the title, and it's gonna be tough, but yeah, we'll see.
So the title even, he's digging for the title. I don't know if David's gonna be allowing that, but we're gonna head off to Leonard and Sebastian for our top 8 match.
Here we are, only 8 players remaining, and I think it's kind of cool that we saw all of the faces now.
Yeah, indeed.
So nobody can go under the radar anymore. We have seen all the faces, all of them got their glory, and they're on stream.
They got the Yugi fame.
Yeah, exactly. And as we saw, we have like quite a few German-speaking guys in there.
Yeah.
We have one UK guy left, and the crowd was going wild when he was saying like, "I'm from England and I'm like the local that wants to take it down." And I think it would be kind of cool to actually look through how the country breakdown was developing and everything, and also the deck meta breakdown. But at the moment, it doesn't look too good. So let's just talk about it, because we talked about it before. At the start of the tournament, of course, a lot of UK guys were entering, because Comic-Con is around the corner, so everybody was joining the big family of Yu-Gi-Oh players, and everybody probably brought their friends with them, and like, yes, there's a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, and you can also go to the Comic-Con, so let's go. And so everybody from all over
if you
UK
lose your
came
first
in here.
rounds, it's okay.
Because there's Comic-Con right around the corner, exactly, yeah. And so we had a blasting big number of UK players.
Yeah. 1,000? Was it over 1,000?
I think it was around 1,000 at least, like 50%, right around 50%.
Striking record.
And that was pretty decent. And yeah, only one left from that, so my favorite word, the conversion rate of the UK players wasn't too impressive. But we have the Yu-Gi-Oh countries, you can basically say, that are always successful, really shining, because we have still multiple Italian players in. We have German players as well. Not too cocky, please, not too cocky.
Okay, it's okay.
And also like Switzerland and France as well, of course. France, the rising Yu-Gi-Oh nation, you can definitely not discount them. They're definitely up for it. And I mean, they've sent out one of the biggest barriers, apparently, right? Lucas Lancelot. He's ready to fight, I would assume.
I wish I could speak German now, because I would say he's going to brechne Lanze for it, which is a funny wordplay in German.
It kind of is.
Not in English, apparently.
It definitely is not in English, no. And yeah, deck-wise, we've talked about it a little bit. At the start of the tournament, Orcust was on top, but it was followed closely by Salomon Great and Thunder. And also, like, Striker was still in competition, it seems.
Striker was still in competition, and Striker is also still in competition. This deck is still very powerful. So many hits on the previous Forbidden Limited list. Kagari to 1, people thought, okay, you can't play this deck anymore.
It's over.
But you could. Multi-roll to 1, people said, okay, you can't really play this deck anymore. 1 Ogre and you lose. But you could.
You could.
And Anchor to 1, so people thought, okay, this deck cannot be aggressive anymore. But you can.
You can. As you just heard Pascal saying, he did not lose a single game, or a single match so far. He's still undefeated in this tournament, and so we were like, we cannot miss out on him playing the top 8. So we can already tell you that Pascal Kihm will be our featured match, and he's facing Emidio Granito. And he was also like saying some pretty cool stuff. He's like, yeah, I just want to win it all, right? They're really here to win it.
Granito rocks.
Yeah, makes sense, makes sense. And as we said, we have like multiple Orcust decks still in competition. Striker is still around. And also, we've seen him in the featured match, so as you saw Tom Kleinegreber's face, you definitely know by now that he's an Infernoid player. So Infernoid still being in the top 8 of the tournament as well.
Which is incredible to me. I mean, Rogue oftentimes tops events, but it never really advances so far. But now Tom has reached his ceiling, because he has been top 8 at so many previous events, and he always loses in top 8. And every time he enters a top cut, he says, okay, this time I'm really going to go further than top 8. But it hasn't happened so far, but it can happen this time. I mean, he is playing the spice.
But on the other hand, we have David Erpen battling with him, and David Erpen was just top 8 in Ghent, and so he really wants to get one step closer to the finals.
But I mean,
and
he
really
has
wants to make it.
From top 8 already. He was second place at Swissnets.
That's true, that's true.
This guy also really a strong player. But I mean, he's playing the Orcust deck, right?
Yes,
and Infernoid have the perfect counter mechanic to Orcust, as they can just tribute themselves, the small ones at least, to just banish cards from the graveyard as a quick effect in the opponent's turn, which versus Orcust, a heavily graveyard deck, seems good.
Seems absolutely smashing. And it was kind of a thing we thought that Rogue really isn't too good at this event, because I think we in total had like 3 Rogue decks in top 32. So we were like, oof, it looks like we could have a lot of Orcust and Salomon Great and maybe Striker in like top 4, top 8. And Tom is still hanging on. He's proving us wrong. He wants to really get Rogue to the top of the tournament.
And he looked confident when the picture was showing him, was sitting there like...
yeah, like both him and David both really showing off the muscles.
Those guys
It could
really
have been a boxing fight when you see these two guys. And I really hope that we're going to see...
I hope it's not going to happen, the boxing fight.
Not a real, actual
Probably not.
boxing fight, no.
Probably
but
not.
I'm looking forward to some fist punches in our featured match, to be honest.
Oh, that's good. But also
but
not,
just for
also
happiness,
not literally.
not for literal fist
Yu-Gi-Oh
punches.
punches, not literal punches.
Yeah, right. And I mean, I can see the players actually shuffling up their deck, and it seems like they are finished. So top 8 players are ready, we are ready. And so we should just jump right into the top 8 game. Let's go over to the feature match table. Here we have them. Sky Striker Pure. This deck name has been popular for a long time, and I know for a fact that Pascal Kihm in particular has been playing this deck for a long time as well, and he has multiple tops with it too.
Yeah, and he is playing cards that haven't been seeing too much play. He is playing three copies of Compulsory Evacuation Device.
Yeah. I remember a conversation with you before the tournament saying purple cards really being the factor this format, and it could be the case here that Pascal finally is showing us why.
I mean, purple cards in forms of floodgates have been popular for the last formats all the time.
Yeah.
Seeing decks like True Drake or Ultra Guys, but like the normal trap cards like Lost Wind and Compulsory Evacuation Device words, those just became popular recently, and they are really strong.
Definitely, definitely.
So, wow.
And
he also has Card of Demise and the CED in his hand already.
Yes, he has indeed, and he's smiling. Both of them kind of smiling. I mean, top 8 now at some point really is where you just be happy for what you've accomplished so far, and you cannot really worry about anything too much. Oh, looks like Emidio just set one card and passed his turn, and look at his hand. He has double Gizmek, double called, and
but he might still win because he has double Gizmek, and the card is crazy.
We saw it so many times. It's just so amazing. But Pascal seems confident. I mean, he knows that his opponent is playing Orcust. By now, you just know all the decks in the tournament.
He might not even have to use his Card of Demise.
Oh, you're right. You're right. And I know that Pascal really has like a lot of thinking going on when playing Sky Striker. He's always like, in game 2 and 3, I really have to play around evenly as well. So there are like reasons when I'm not activating the Card of Demise. But right there, it could also be a point where he not wants to activate the Card of Demise.
Resource-wise, it really makes sense to activate it, right? You just summon Ray, attack for 1,500, and then you will... Oh, he immediately activates Metal Force Fusion. That's also interesting. Maybe picking up this nice copy of Sky Striker Mobilize Engage just to go for the Hayato.
He gets another Ray, and he already had one.
Yeah, this is really unfortunate because it also bumps up your hand size permanently, basically, for this turn at least.
Yep.
So that he can't just demise for 3 because he can't get rid of the Ray. And now he activates the effect. Yeah, he just now going to send something with Hayato.
Something pretty much sounds like Engage to me,
No, I don't
to be
think
honest.
it's going to be Engage.
Oh, what do you think it is?
Maybe Area 0. It could be Engage, so you can pick it up with Kagari again, but then he doesn't even have a draw for it. Because he used the Metal Force Fusion already. He could have just let it stay there in the graveyard and then go for the Hayato play and then pick it up to get the extra draw. But
That
this
really
just
sounds like the obvious play, right?
Yeah. And now he still goes for it. So he could go for Kagari, but does he then resolve the Engage already? Probably. He goes for probably goes for Engage, searches out the multi-roll. It's been a while since I've been excited about Sky Striker, or this excited at least.
This deck still in competition. It has been winning YCS London 2018 in the hands of Mikko Zanelli. So it could go back to back in terms of YCS London winnings.
That a year later, the same deck won the YCS?
Not really. Not that I would remember, to be honest. So Pascal could be the first one to actually do that. And also, Emidio is actually playing some kind of a going second strategy with his Orcust deck, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really look like it if you're looking at
I mean, he had to go first, so he was overwhelmed by that, and so he could not really set anything up. But when you look at his deck list, the first thing that jumps into your eyes is that he's playing 46 main deck cards, which is unusual, and that's always the first giveaway you have there. Because when you sit down and your opponent asks you how many deck cards are you playing, and you have to answer with 46, he's like, okay, he's not playing Sky Striker, he's not playing Salamangreat, he's not playing Pure Thunder, I guess. So he's most likely going to play Orcust, right?
I mean, most of the time you don't really ask how many cards your opponent plays, but when you're cutting the deck or shuffling it rather, then you realize, okay, this is suspiciously big. Are you playing 40 cards? And most of the time the answer is no, it is 46 cards.
Or the other answer is yes, but I just have new sleeves. That happened a lot to me as well. Because when you have like new sleeves, they always seem to be a little bigger.
Oh, and there we go, Gizmek Orochi, the Serpentorn Sky Slasher.
I cannot remember a featured match we've had today where Gizmek Orochi wasn't summoned, and that rule seems to be continued. And Emidio wants to summon it as well. Emidio actually
even
seems
plays
to be
multiple copies of Gizmek.
Yeah.
And he found Scrap Recycle, which is okay-ish.
It is indeed. And Emidio looks pretty calm for the fact that he actually just set one card in his first turn and passed the turn afterwards.
I mean, if you know you're playing against Sky Striker, you really do not care about your first turn. You would like to set something up, but you don't have to. So the maximum amount of damage you can take is 3,000, basically.
Yeah. Also, for a fact, we could not only have back-to-back YCS London Sky Striker champions, we could also have back-to-back Berlin YCS champions. Because for a fact, Pascal Kihm is from Berlin, Germany, as Johannes Urbicht was in Ghent. So Berlin could really keep it up again and could really be a back-to-back YCS winner. I would like that as I'm being
really
from Berlin.
About this, right? Yeah.
I love it, definitely. So Shizuku is being destroyed, but
and he's calling it.
Ooh.
Ring, ring, the grave is calling. Okay, so Ray is out of the picture for the moment, and Gizmek, together with Called by the Grave, successfully removed the card.
Yeah.
I'm wondering why he set the first Called by the Grave if he knows that he's playing versus Sky.
Yeah, you can pretty much say that this card will not survive the turn if you just set it.
And it will not have any kind of good use.
Yeah, true.
So this one might get anchored. I mean, seeing that your opponent didn't have a play for the first turn, then you might want to keep him from sending Harp Horror to the graveyard.
Yeah, even though Anchor is just a one-off, he managed to find it.
He searched it with Engage.
Yeah. That's what I meant by finding it. That's why this card is still so relevant. Like, Sky Strike has a lot of one-offs now, but when you can just search them out with the Engage,
I mean, it
it's
makes
just
sense. If you
always
search
available.
something, you will find it.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's attacking over it. He would have gotten the card back.
He does not want to, apparently.
I don't like this scrappy dog. Just get over it.
I want to do damage with it.
I want to
Gizmek.
only. Also, apparently he did not have 2 Gizmeks, but 1 Nibiru, the Primal Being.
Ooh, that changed in our graphics right there. And you don't want to start with 2 Gizmeks, but you don't want to start with Nibiru versus Striker.
He's also only playing 1 Gizmek.
Okay, yeah, it was weird. Like, I did not see a lot of Orcust decks.
I don't think there is a necessity, because you don't really want to draw the card as well.
Yeah, definitely, and you have always access to it.
Yeah.
With so many different options.
Multi-roll
And so
activated.
the hard draw of Ray last turn with the Metal for Fusion now kind of working out for Pascal, because he can now get back a monster. He cannot use the effect of Ray's turn, but still, I mean, he can then just link it away.
He found the fortress that he can send away with the multi-roll, and then he can reshuffle the Kagari and the Anchor.
Yeah. It looks like a comfortable position for Pascal right now.
So no demise play again this turn.
Afford Kagari is at 1. How can he again use this card? Thanks to
Hercules base.
Hercules base, of course. Brain set out for a moment. But yeah, Hercules base just shuffled it back into the extra deck. Oh, there comes the Engage now. Is it for free?
It is for
Can he draw?
yeah.
Oh, nice.
And there we go again with the Anchor.
Yep. Easy. Oh, he did shuffle back the Anchor with the Hercules base as well. Yeah, so all of the one-offs still being recycled, still being reused by this deck.
And I mean, that's why the deck is so good, right? You use all your one-offs and then you do it again.
Yep, so you can use the Afterburner on the Gizmek. No back row to be popped, but still you got rid of the monster and you can deal additional damage. Looking good for Pascal. He's just cruising at the moment. He's just playing his Sky Striker cards for more than a year now, and he just really knows what he's doing. He's attacking with Kagari. That should be like 2,000 attack or something around that at least.
Gizmek will be summoned. I wonder if he had game somehow by Anchor taking the monster. I don't think so.
It's close. He could have probably brought him to like 500 life points or so. There comes Shizuku. He can just play it more safe.
Yeah, sure, of course.
And so he baited out the Gizmek Orochi, and the Gizmek Orochi now is in the zone that the Shizuku is pointing to, so you cannot link summon into that right now. Like only if he's using the Gizmek.
Yep.
But still, he did that quite well. Picking up his deck, getting another Surge. He's just getting far ahead here, and there is his super good card versus Orcust. Shark Cannon always was good versus graveyard reliant decks, and it still is, of course.
And he would have wanted it to be there a little bit earlier, so he can banish the Gizmek. But he wants to set it up for the next turn, so he just activates it on the Scrap Recycler.
Yeah, looks good, definitely. So Emidio has Orchestrated Return and Nibiru. Still not 5 summons from Pascal in his turn. Sky Striker players really not committing to 5 summons a whole lot. It does happen. I mean, I think one time you came to me and you told me, oof, I lost to Nibiru with Sky Strikers. It does sometimes
if you're
happen.
going second and you have to kind of break your opponent's board or go for a Phoenix to discard Metal Force Fusion or something like that and then try to commit into the field, and then Nibiru comes and you can't get rid of the token. That hurts.
Yeah, it's true, definitely. So Emidio has not his Harp Horror in the graveyard anymore, but he still was able to draw 2 cards, drawing into Bigfoot and Tsuchinoko, so all of his danger cards coming out.
Yeah, oh, Tsuchinoko got hit.
Oh my.
That's really good for him. I mean,
Definitely.
for Pascal.
Yeah, Pascal.
Not for Emidio.
Pascal was pretty happy with that.
Emidio would have wanted to
Definitely.
get rid of this Primal Being or the Bigfoot even to destroy the multi-roll.
Yep.
Not gonna happen.
Otherwise,
I mean, maybe
Pascal
Bigfoot,
can just grind out his opponent completely. And he already is in such an advantageous position right now. There comes Bigfoot. Hitting Bigfoot again, not too bad. So, does he hit Bigfoot?
Yeah.
Yep, he
And
does indeed.
This is the multi-roll gone for Pascal. This means he has limited resources now.
But still, look at the resources of Emidio. Normally, you would say, okay, you go into Nightmare Phoenix now, then Nightmare Mermaid, and okay, you have Orcust combo, but not anymore. Nightmare Mermaid being hit on the last Forbidden and Limited list, now making it much tougher for Emidio to actually get into his combo plays
And
with
Pascal's
the Orcust deck.
still holding on to his compulsory evacuation device.
True. Okay, yeah, that would be used on that Nightmare Phoenix or the Nightmare Mermaid then, and so you couldn't play anyways.
Rather on the Phoenix.
Probably. Not allowing the opponent to special summon out one more monster.
Wait a minute.
Is he still going
He's
for Phoenix?
hovering over the Phoenix and he's summoning it, so...
Maybe he forgot that he does not have Mermaid anymore.
Does he have a different plan or did he just forget it?
He does not even have a discard for the Mermaid anymore, so that really looks like a move of...
Oh, he hits the card device.
Like, he has no other move really available,
That
so he's
was
just playing it
really
out
good
as
for
he
him.
can.
And he still has Gizmek Orochi, so this is just going to be Gizmek beatdown.
Yeah, but I mean, he has Ray in the graveyard, and he can really...
He can't really attack over the Shizuku, because then Shizuku is just going to be summoned in the end phase and it's going to fetch a good card.
Definitely.
Shizuku has too many spells in the graveyard to reduce attack points. She doesn't really have the attack points as Kagari would.
Yeah, definitely not. So he just passes, Pascal picks up another card from the top of his deck, and what is it? It's really important right there. Oh, he drew into Hornet Drones. Hornet Drones is not really a
Oh, he
card
has
that
area
helps him,
0.
but
That
he
is
has
really strong.
area as well, correct.
If he manages to find like a Shark Cannon, that could be game.
He has Anchor's Head still, right? So that should really, really easily be game. I mean, he has to somehow force out the Gizmek and then chain the Shark Cannon maybe. That could be the way to go. Let's see. Obviously, in this particular moment, you would like to have the Shark.
I mean, he can get rid of the Gizmek anyway. You can just activate it once per turn, and he has the compulsory, so you could send it back to the hand.
Oh yeah, you're right. The compulse could be.
But I don't
there.
think he has a way to get another monster on the field to deal the necessary damage.
Let's see. If a Sky Striker player finds a way to do it, I think it will be Pascal.
Yeah.
He will find a way to calmly do stuff here. Oh, looks like he's just going into Hayate. Oh no, he does not want to commit to more monsters. He's like, yeah, I will have my resources in the extra deck available to me for the later turns, so just run over the Phoenix here. I will keep the Shizuku. I don't need much more card advantage because I'm in such an advantage position already.
This is like with the Grand Maju. Just keep it simple.
Yeah, exactly.
Just attack. You're in an advantageous position.
Oh, but he does decide to actually summon out the Hayate.
I mean, he wants to have another Shizuku Surge in the end phase.
Yeah, I was wondering whether he maybe wants to keep the resource in his extra deck to actually have more extra deck monsters available if it comes up that he has to grind a little more. but he does not seem to worry about it. And he wants his Shark Cannon really bad, and I can understand why, because it's so good versus Orcust. How many Shark Cannons is Pascal running in total?
Should be playing 2. It's 2, yeah.
It's 2, okay.
I mean, this is a way to get rid of the Gizmek. He blocks it for the end phase. I mean, when Pascal announces the Shizuku Surge, Emidio should have activated the Gizmek if he wants to use it.
Yeah, true.
Oh, he
could have
drew
played around
Cosmic
that.
Cyclone. That's not helping.
I mean, you could hit the you could hit the Compulse with the Cosmic. And then you at least know for game 2 and 3 that there are traps like Compulse in the main deck of your opponent, so you can already plan ahead. Better activated than not,
But I mean,
activating
he
it.
hasn't lost yet. Pascal still doesn't really have any options to progress his game state.
Okay, but he does not activate
lost
the
one.
effect of Gizmek, so now it is targetable for the Shark Cannon, basically.
But now this is like a gamble, because Pascal might set a card like Lost Wind, and then Emidio thinks that Shark Cannon was set, and then he activates it and Shark Cannon takes it out. But this could also not happen. Pascal could set the Shark Cannon, and Emidio might predict that the Shark Cannon wasn't set and then not activate it and try to activate it on his own turn.
To be honest, in the shoes of Pascal, you saw that Emidio did not summon the Gizmek Orochi in his own turn. So why worrying about the opponent's turn when you can just have the Shark Cannon in your own hand? Oh, but he set both of them, right?
Yeah, he just set everything, so...
A lot of back row cards. Looks like Paleo.
It looks like there were 6, but 1 is actually the deck.
Definitely, the deck is so small though. At the start of the tournament, I was kind of fearing that Paleo is taking over the tournament because we had Paleo winning round 1 versus Thomas Rose. And also we had like in round 4, I think, or round 3 it was rather, Paleo at the feature match area.
Thomas
so
Rose
was
playing
taking over.
Subterra really surprised me this event, because he's much rather a combo player.
Yeah, but I mean, the combo players have been surprising a little. Because, for example, Dinka Bui also played Sky Striker for this event, which is rather not a combo deck as well.
Yeah, that's... You could say so, I guess. Yeah.
Probably, right? So Emidio's sitting there, hoping for a good draw. He picked up... It still says Cosmic Cyclone, but I don't think he drew into another Cosmic Cyclone right there. But that sounded like a pass to me once more.
And now he can just jamming wave the set card, the Cosmic Cyclone, and pop the Gizmek as well.
Yep.
And if he then chains Cosmic Cyclone on Sharkin, and then this is an okay position for... But I mean, he can just get deck outed at this point. 2 Hayata punches are even enough.
Definitely.
Anchor is enough.
Even Anchor is enough right now.
Just Anchor taking the monster should be enough for game.
Jamming Waves being the first card to activate. He will probably change the Cosmic Cyclone, there it is, but that also brings him closer to losing.
Being at 0 life points. So he chooses a card. Oh, it is probably the Shark Cannon. You can special summon out Nibiru. That's cool. Do that. Oh my god, is he doing it?
No, he's just summoning out...
Phoenix, maybe? Oh, he's just
not
banishing
summoning out
something.
anything. Okay, so he cannot banish the Gizmek anymore of them. But he still has Anchor available to just steal it. So that should be game, because the card in hand of Emidio, what should it be? Like?
It's Nightmare.
It is Nightmare, as we can see. But
Battle Fader.
Battle Fader would be the only card that could really do anything.
And that
right
would
there.
also not really win the game. Gotta be honest there.
Okay, attack and attack. So that looks like Emidio will take up his card there. Yep, it is 1-0 for Pascal Kihm. So he's on a good
closer
way
to reaching the top 4 of YCS London.
Yeah, we had Jesse Cotton actually being undefeated in UDS Panama last week, and maybe it is the task of Pascal Kihm to continue that and be the winner, the undefeated winner of YCS London this week.
The crowd is going crazy right now.
Guys, cheer it up for top 8, guys. Oh, wow.
Thank you, one guy in the front.
Yeah, like at least a little bit.
That's him. Perfect. All right, so let's
talk
get
about the
over
sideboards.
the side decks.
Absolutely. So I have Emidio's list right here. And Emidio is sideboarding a lot of stuff versus combo, to be fair. He's sideboarding Gnome material. He was probably scared of the Lunar Knight Orcust deck, but that's not too helpful versus the Sky Striker deck. He's also sideboarding Droll and Lockbird. That's usually more for combo too, but you could board it in versus Striker as well if you like. Then he has a Summon Limit, also versus combo, but I mean, Summon Limit does not help you too much. And then on the other hand, he has Twin Tristus and Eradicator Epidemic Virus, which are both pretty viable for the striker.
And Pascal plays crazy cards for this matchup. He has played a card that has just been recently released in
Rising
I think.
Rampage?
Yeah,
Was it
Rising
Rising
Rampage.
Rampage?
He plays Get Out.
Oh, that is a secret rare. That's a very good trap.
Yeah, this
Another
one
trap right there.
chooses 2 cards of the opponent's side that have been special summoned from the extra deck and just shuffle summons them back. Removing extra deck cards from the field always feels like a +1, like when you're using Compulsory on a Dingirso or something like that. It feels so good because you have to heavily invest into your extra deck cards, but removing 2 of them, like Dingirso and Galatea, that is so strong in this matchup.
In this matchup, it is really good to actually get rid of Dingirsus, but it also has more
Thunder Dragon.
viability. Exactly. Thinking about Thunder Dragon, which
Getting
should
rid
be
of
like
double Colossus, that's crazy.
a bit of a bad matchup for the striker deck still. Get Out really helps winning this.
He also plays Heavy Stone Duster. Don't think we're going to see those. He side decks Ash Blossom.
Oh, really? He's not playing any hand traps because his main deck is a card of Demise, of course. Yeah.
And he plays triple DD Crow. I think those are going to find their ways into the main deck.
Looks like DD Crow really is getting like a revival once more. It's always like every 7 to 8 months people decide, oh, it's time for DD Crow again. And I mean, it is viable because Orcust is just suffering from this deck, from this card specifically. So a very good hand trap at the moment, and maybe one of the best ones right now.
Indeed, but that's an awful lot of cards that Pascal wants to side in. Let's see what he can take out. I mean, there are the Lost Winds that he can take out. That can only be one, still really powerful. Versus the Orcust strategy. He can get rid of probably jamming waves. Not too strong if your opponent starts with the Dingirsu. I mean, he might not even start.
Maybe just consistency cards. Maybe he's boarding out Card of Demise, Upset
Yeah, Card of
Goblin.
Demise, of course. Card of Demise will go out if you side in the hand traps. And we already see the Ash Blossom and the DD Crow.
Oh, he picked up both of them. 2 hand traps for Pascal for game 2, and Emidio blinks over to him, wants to get some information by the look of Pascal's face, but Pascal isn't giving away anything here.
Eradicator, Epidemic Virus, and Gizmek Orochi, the Serpentron Sky Slasher, again finding its way into the featured match.
Again and again and again. Gizmek, Gizmek, Gizmek. This card really is jumping into our feature match area all over this weekend.
My grandmother always used to say Gizmek Schmizmek.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mine too, mine too.
such a grandmother sentence.
So it looks like Pascal is going first, right? We talked about Emidio kind of playing a going second strategy.
But I mean...
And for a second I thought that Emidio actually pointed over to him.
Yeah, Eradicator doesn't really seem
Agreed.
Yeah, okay, so he just goes for Gizmek Orochi immediately. So I don't think that Pascal starts, so he starts.
Yeah, definitely.
And summons Skeleton next to it, Galatea, and then goes into Dingirsu, and then he just sets the Epidemic Virus, and then he waits.
And then he has a super good position because reinforcement of the army, Upset Goblin, and Afterburners all cannot be chained to the activation of the Eradicator, so he will surely lose them.
But then he has triple spells on Grave. What are you going to do then?
You probably are just going to get engaged somehow, but how do you get engaged in that
Raid.
But where is Ray? He doesn't
Top
have
deck.
Ray. Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Just draw into Ray, then you're good to go.
Should really stop with those one-word answers. Really
No, I love them.
Yes,
but then
no, Ray.
Emidio
Kagari.
still has Twin Twisters and Cosmic Cyclone, so he can...
Yeah,
whatever
that's
Pascal tries to build up from there on, he still can interrupt.
But he also has nothing to play himself, except for the Skeleton. Okay, Skeleton is a good argument, to be honest.
So is there another spell card being picked up? It is indeed. So is Emidio shotgunning the Eradicator here?
He should be.
But
Foolish
he is
Burgoods.
not.
Oh, and now...
Oh, that is really crucial now because
Yeah.
that means Pascal gets access to Ray. He doesn't have to top deck it.
I don't see a reason why you wouldn't shotgun it.
I mean, that definitely is a reason why you should have shotgunned it, I would say. Why is
And
Emidio
also-
still holding on?
He apparently doesn't want to take away the chance of winning from Pascal.
Maybe he just wants to keep it fair.
That's
maybe,
super nice.
Maybe he says Eradicator is super strong. I just don't want to blow him out with it, and let him play a little. He's just letting him activate all of his spell cards. Is that really Eradicator? Yeah, it says in our app on the table, Eradicator is one of the back row cards, so it definitely should be in there.
And he plays it. We can see the deck list.
Yeah.
And there's a trap card.
Wow, Pascal just basically changed up his whole hand. He now has nearly no spell cards in it anymore. So Emidio cannot get real use out of the Eradicator anymore. That is really, really odd.
And I mean, his entire
Oh, he
line
draws
of
into engage now as well, and he has 3 spells engraved.
Well, he just, I mean, at this point you do not activate the Eradicator, right?
You probably just wait for end phase and try
Maybe
to
he just waits
blow
for the
out
multi-roll.
everything. Maybe that, yeah.
And Pascal is just sitting there thinking like, what does he have said there? Nothing looks threatening to me.
I would say he probably thinks about back row removal. Twin Twisters or like Cosmic Cyclones are more than likely at that point.
I mean, he could take an Anchor and then take the Dingirsu and then not pop it because he cannot activate the Afterburners as he has Dingirsu in his name on his own.
And now see Pascal drawing into another trap or monster. I already called it. He's not going to discard
Get
this
out.
card.
Oh, it's a monster.
It was a monster, wow.
But which one was it? It was another Ash Blossom. And this doesn't seem to be too good. But honestly, it's better than any spell he could have drawn.
Definitely, because at some point Emidio will actually activate the Eradicator.
Maybe he forgot about his Eradicator.
That would be a bad moment to actually have that kind of a blackout.
Yeah. Oh, but I mean, he's super patient and he waits for more commitment. The Kagari is out already now.
And now it happens. Okay.
Okay, so he actually got rid of the multi-roll and the Kagari, and probably all the other cards that Pascal is now losing is now keeping are not enough to win the game.
Yeah, I mean, still Pascal sits there having no resources available to himself, and he also cannot search for Engage in the end phase now because Engage is in the graveyard. So that was kind of smart by
But
Emidio.
I mean, there's DD Crow and Ash Blossom. Like, how is Emidio going to get into the game now?
That's definitely a hard task from here on. I surely agree. So Pascal, really, what can he search in the end phase with Shizuku now? What's the best chance, the best shot he has there?
Shark Cannon and then activate it to get rid of the skeleton.
Yep, agreed. That's really good.
Or he could search for Area 0. So he can actually get into plays. Like, Eradicator counts for 3 turns, right?
Yep.
So with Area 0, you could find cards to play with. He has the DD Crow and the Ash Blossom, and there can only be one. So I don't really think he has to be fearful of Emidio, like, putting out a big board in the next turn and beating him already. I think he can just wait and rather try to establish his own field and go for plays on his own.
Yeah.
I would not say that Shark Cannon would necessarily be a bad play, but I think Area 0 could be like a winning play.
Yeah,
but he goes
there
for a
is
Shark Cannon.
On the plus side for Emidio right now, he does know about every single card that is in play for Pascal at the moment, so he knows what to play around. But how could you play around that Shark Cannon? It just hinders you from playing by banishing one of your most important cards in the deck.
Yeah. I mean, he could wait with the Shark Cannon for the next turn and then summoning a Dingirsu on his own, so he can actually have something to remove his opponent's cards on the field. He cannot attack with it. Obviously. Oh, there's also Gizmek Orochi. Don't forget Gizmek is really powerful once again, because he can remove the deck can only be one easily.
You will probably have to think about actually activating the DD Crow in response to the Gizmek, right?
But he also has Cosmic Section, so I think there can only be one, as he also has Twin Twisters in his hand. It's not going to be the card that stops him from playing. It's rather the cards he doesn't have that will stop him from playing, being the Orcust cards.
That's true. He's missing out on them right now. In the last format, you did not want to draw your Orcust cards because you were just special summoning them out with Mermaid. Now you really need to draw your Orcust cards to actually play.
Oh yeah.
He just immediately he did not even put it into his hand, he just immediately put it into the graveyard. Because of Eradicator, he wasn't able to add that Eagle Booster to his hand.
I mean, he can punch, then change attributes for a second, then go back to Shizuku, and then search for the Area 0. He does not have it in hand, right?
Nope, he does not. He has only double Ash Blossom and DD Crow in hand.
And just these small punches are stacking up.
They definitely do. That is what Sky Striker does.
Yeah.
Just always some small attacks, and the damage is adding up, and at some point your opponent is overwhelmed by all the sheer power of spell cards. He's immediately putting it to the graveyard.
So ironic.
It wasn't, of course.
Okay, so he sends away the Area 0, so he cannot really access it. I thought that would be a good target to search with Shizuku.
Like, yeah, but also no. Maybe he just really wants to have the interruptive cards rather. Maybe he wants to search for
Anchor.
Anchor in the end phase, definitely. That could be a good one. Yep, that's the plan. Pascal goes for the Anchor.
I mean, still, you wouldn't not want to have the ability to search for the area, because I mean the amount of cards that you can search with Shizuku as multi-rolls in the graveyard, Kagari's in the graveyard, and Engage is also in the graveyard. You do not really search too many cards with Shizuku anymore.
I think Pascal just wanted to minimize the chances of him drawing a spell
Does
card
he
in
even
his
have
next
another
turn.
Shizuku?
That was Shizuku number... Was it Shizuku number 3 already? I'm just checking the graveyard. There's one Shizuku in the graveyard. Yeah, it's only one Shizuku in the graveyard. So... Oh no, that's one... Yeah, only one. So he only has one more Shizuku available in his extra deck. Oh, and Emidio picked up Orcust Crescendo. That's not really helping him. I mean, he can activate the Tsuchinoko and then maybe
really
discard the
That
Crescendo.
is helping him. He can Twin Twister, discard the Crescendo.
Oh,
in the
that's
next
also an even
turn.
faster way. You're right.
But I mean, there are 2 Ash Blossoms.
Yeah, sadly they are. And Emidio knows about the Ash Blossoms.
We're probably going to see Ash Blossom a Grave Effect Crescendo. That is interesting.
Yep, sadly that will be what Pascal is most likely to do.
So he just passed, and he reveals top deck Engage, ladies and gentlemen. But Pascal has to discard it, obviously, still having the upper hand in this top 8 match.
Yep, that wasn't too cool for him. And Kagari is already gone, as Emidio chooses the way to go that he was actually giving his opponent some room to play before activating the Eradicator. So that Kagari cannot recycle anything anymore. But he still has another Hayate.
And Hayate looks threatening. Attack!
Yep, 1,500, another punch. And it looks like he's also using the effect. He really does not want to draw a spell card for the 3rd time, so he's sending away another one. And this time...
But he's playing so many.
His choice is... What is he going for? He's sending another Area 0. He really does not want to draw the Area 0 here.
But I think if he had an Area 0 on his field now, he would be in a better spot, wouldn't he? Like,
yeah, I mean...
Finding a card every round?
I think his plan right now has to be to actually win this game like rather quick than...
Yeah, but he had Ash Blossom,
not so quick.
DD Crow, and there can only be one. And his opponent had no access to any kind of card. Like, he doesn't have any crazy top deck card that sends all of his Orcust cards to the graveyard and then he can suddenly play through 3 interruptions. That's just impossible.
Yeah, but still, you don't want to give your opponent time. Like, at some point, he may be able to draw into all of his
Anchor
Orcust
is
cards.
not going to take away time from your opponent. You can search it next turn. You're only playing one. You're not going to have one in the graveyard, and then you're not able to search one.
Yeah, that's right. But that Anchor gives you the possibility to actually end the game than the turn after. You just have the possibility to actually win the game rather quick. And Pascal knows that his resources are limited because Kagari is away, multi-roll is away, so he really just wants to have the cards that are actually winning him the game and not just cards that are letting him hanging in the game, I guess.
I mean, they're building up advantage for him.
Yeah, I guess he just goes a different route here. And there's the effect of Tsuchinoko now. Discarding the Crescendo probably is the best that could happen for Emidio here.
And it's the snake. Wow.
He hits Tsuchinoko once more. Pascal, not for the first time, hitting the danger that was revealed by Emidio. And now he kind of thinks about activating the effect of DD Crow, maybe. I don't think that's too favorable. There are way better targets than
I mean, you want the Crow for the Gizmek, right?
Yes, exactly.
Gizmek and Tsuchinoko are basically vanillas.
Oh, but he does use the DD Crow on it. That's really interesting because he knows of the Gizmek. And he really... I think the DD Crow in the hand of Pascal was actually the reason for Emidio to not summon the Gizmek so far. He was holding back with it because he knew his opponent has the DD Crow. And now he may have baited Pascal into actually activating the DD Crow on that Tsuchinoko. I mean, what kind of value could Emidio get out of that Tsuchinoko on the field?
I don't really know. And now the Twin Twister discard Crescendo comes down on the 2 set cards. Sadly for Pascal, none of these set cards is the Hercules base that he searched. Otherwise, he would be able to recycle multi-roll Kagari and another Engage, possibly.
That would be perfect.
Yeah, and
now no back row for Pascal anymore. Gizmek is hitting the field. So,
and now it really hurts him that he doesn't have Area 0 on the field because he could gain more and more advantage.
Yeah, and it looks like Emidio could actually be able to turn this thing around, and this game looked more than over to me, to be honest.
And this is again Gizmek Orochi.
Yeah.
Allowing the Orcust player to keep on playing this game, and there can only be one is drawn.
Yep, so the first turn,
Yeah.
his hand cards does not have to be revealed for the Eradicator anymore. Obviously, he draws the trap card.
And now I think Pascal wants to equip the Hercules base to actually get the draw.
Yep, now we have a card that actually
Cosmic
does
Cyclone.
card advantage.
I think this is going to be Cyclone.
Yeah, you cannot risk
3,
him
4,
drawing there.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Ooh, that's a lot of spell cards in the graveyard. But you were asking last turn how many Shizukus are left in the extra deck.
That would be the last Shizuku, right?
That now definitely is the last Shizuku.
So as soon as a Gizmek destroys the Shizuku, there is no more Shizuku.
That's true.
And there is no way for Pascal to stop the Gizmek from coming out in the next turn. Or
Yeah.
this turn and then popping the Shizuku the next turn. He can only summon Kana.
How many Kanas is he playing? Like, how many extra deck
One.
monsters does he have available in total now?
He
I think
has
he's
one more Hayate, maybe?
He should have one more Hayate
Yeah.
and then the one Kana. So that's really not a whole lot.
I was wondering why he used the Hayate instead of the Kana to attack directly. I mean, of course, you can send away your Area 0, which apparently is the correct play, to Pascal.
It probably is, yeah.
But I mean, Hayate really helps you to close out games.
It does. And, I mean, he's at a point where he really will be struggling if Emidio is able to get rid of that Shizuku and then maybe the Kana
Yeah.
and the Hayate. He's in too much of a grind game. Normally you would say that grind games are heavily favored by the Sky Striker deck, but right there it could be too much of a grind game for them.
Yeah, I mean, the resources have been, in the truest sense of the word, limited.
Yep. Widow Anchor being limited, Pascal's resources
Kagari,
limited here.
multi-roll. All of those are in the graveyard.
Yep. They're all happily together there, celebrating a little
Not too happy,
limitation
probably.
party. Yeah, and Emidio picked up Called by the Grave now as well, so he could even call the Ray, and I mean, there are no better targets to be calling with the Called by the Grave than Ray, so he can already get rid of the... he cannot even let the Hayate and the Kana join the field.
He can also call the Shizuku and then run over it, but he can also pop the Shizuku, so that's not his problem. What he has to worry about is not decking out or closing out the game before decking out. Oh wow, he plays around Ash Blossom. Do you have to? Can you announce? Oh, yeah, there can only be one.
That was the
hard now.
only card that Emidio did not know about so far. He did know about every other card available to Pascal, but
I don't
that
think
one
Pascal
hard
has
drop, that
anchor
can
in
be
hand,
one.
by the way. The table has to have a mistake in there because the anchor is in the
That's
graveyard.
kind of hard for him, exactly. Talking about it being limited makes it hard for Pascal to actually have it in hand when it's the first card being visible in his graveyard. Yeah, so Emidio looks like he could be victorious here. But also time is becoming some kind of a matter, always with Sky Striker. Games will be very long and grindy, so it is always
Clara and Rushka.
hard. Oh, that's an interesting decision to play this card. Do
that
you
is-
support it?
Yes, and this is now really strong because he still has the skeleton in the graveyard and the Dingirsu, and this one he can now summon. So he actually has plays accessible to him.
Wow. The start of Emidio was so slow. He only had Eradicator and Dingirsu and nothing to play with afterwards. But now is the point where he has all of his resources still available and he could get into them.
Did he not use the destruction effect of Gizmek?
Looks like it. Maybe he just wants the monster. Oh, they're seemingly rewinding there. Maybe Pascal wanted to respond to something. Of course, Pascal still holds DD Crow in his hand. Oh no, did he draw into another one?
He used it.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't think
he should not have DD Crow in his hand either. That's right. He only has Shizuku on the field and... Oh, but did he pass?
It drew into engage.
But how did Emidio pass there? I'm really confused how Emidio passed on Norman Summon Skeleton right there. That doesn't seem to be the power play.
So he did not keep the Gizmek Orochi? Oh, I mean, he could not use Gizmek Orochi into Clara and Drushka because the monster has been normal summoned or set.
Oh, right. You can only use normal or special... only normal summoned monsters.
But I mean, you can use Skeleton to go into to Clara and Drushka, right?
Yeah.
But he used the Crescendo So he cannot access
of
Clara and
course,
Rushka.
of
Okay,
course.
now we got it, guys.
We finally figured it out. He is searching for... Oh, is he playing triple field spell? Yeah, he is, of course. Triple area 0. That is the last copy he had available, so the terraforming is alive for him. And Emidio being at 2,900 life points right there, not a comfortable situation to be in. Can he actually end the game right here?
I mean, Skeleton is at 0 attack points right now.
It
so
is. That's not big of a threat.
Yeah, that's also a lot of damage that he's going to take. And then one Hayate might be enough.
It could definitely be. That one Hayate is still being available to Pascal. I'm just double checking his graveyard.
And even if Pascal would lose this grind game, because right now it doesn't really look too bad for Emidio, as he also has the Dingirsu in the graveyard, he still needs to deal 8,000 damage in 3 minutes and 53 seconds that are stopped. Wait a minute.
Yeah, maybe they're just getting some extra time. Or like clock was paused because they were talking to the judges. That definitely makes sense. If there's a judge call coming up, you don't really want to count that time into the match time because you want to have that raw Yu-Gi-Oh time and really playing time. And it is very fair to stop the clock then.
He cannot Shark Cannon the Dingirsu out because of there can only be one, because Shizuku is a machine.
All of them are machines, yep. That's actually true. But he can still banish it.
So that's 1,500 damage.
I mean, it was pretty reasonable to assume that this card has 0 attack at this point, but they still counted through every card in the grave, and it is 1,500 damage indeed.
Skeleton, not the most powerful card in terms of attack and defense.
Nope, Emidio should go down to 1,400, yeah. Yeah, it is.
That's Dark Magician, the most
it has
powerful
always
magician
been, and it is still.
In terms of attack and defense. Okay, so he's at a really low point of life points.
And also Emidio drew into the Eradicator.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think in general of Eradicator? Because we saw it can be very, very powerful when you just activate it immediately to hinder your opponent from doing a lot of plays. But that's the risk of the card, right? When you draw it later on, it's probably not that good anymore.
But if he didn't use it immediately, I mean, okay, he would have probably won because he would have discarded the Rota and there wouldn't have been a way for Pascal to play the game.
Yep.
But he got out all the important resources. Now he's just left at no top decks, which is a bit unfortunate for him. If he is able to find this one Harp Horror plus another card that he can use, then he might be back in the game immediately and he will win the grind game. If he finally gets to start grinding.
Yeah, it seems like time could really become a factor here. Like the plan from Emidio is pretty good because it seems like in the long run he could be the one winning this game. But maybe he was playing too far ahead and like planning into timeout already, planning for a 60 minutes match, but the time limit is at 40 minutes. And
that run is too long.
He cannot really make the final jump anymore. Oh,
wow.
And Pascal sets a monster.
Sets the Ash Blossom, and what does he find?
Nothing. I mean, the
was
chance
beautiful.
was really, really low to actually hit there. There are not a lot of Sky Striker
because he
cards
sent all the
anymore.
areas to the graveyard, which I still not agree on.
I would actually say that Pascal probably is the
he
better
might
Sky
know
Striker
better.
player at the moment.
But I mean, now he has a problem, a big one, because he cannot use the Shark Cannon that he has set, as he has set the Ash Blossom.
Yeah, that monster in the main monster zone kind of hinders him from playing as well. But on the other hand, it stops Emidio from getting damage in because there's another monster he has to run over. So that could still be a very good thing for him because Emidio is in the need of dealing damage now. But how cool would it be if Emidio now also manages to somehow get ahead in life points in this game, and then that would be the second match in a row, top 16 and top 8, where we have a sudden death game 3. That would be amazing.
Always with Orcust, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Ash Blossom answers the... Called by the Graph answers the Ash Blossom. That was thrown onto the Scrap Recycler, but we still have the Eradicator. There can be only one in the picture. I would have thought that he just goes for Skeleton, summon Dingirsu back and get rid of the Floodgate, and then normal summon the Scrap Recycler, because now he only has the Scrap Recycler that does nothing. Yeah. Because he cannot do anything, right? He just has Eradicator, Epidemic Virus, and nothing else.
Yeah, he just passes from here on, right? That's at least what I think.
Oh, he goes
now
to
he can Clara
and
and Rushka.
Works. But now he's missing out on his battle phase again.
Exactly, because Clara and Rushka can only be summoned in main phase 2.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So he is actually getting something going here, but
I mean,
it
you
is
could have
too
done that in main
late.
phase 1. You could have always used the skeleton. I mean, you can normal summon monsters like Scrap Recycler after you have used your Orcust effects. You're only limited to special summoning dark monsters. You can normal summon your earth monsters.
Yeah, definitely agreed.
And now, I mean, I don't think that he's going to make it now because he can make plays. He summons Galatea. He's in the advantageous position. He can outgrind his opponent for the next 25 turns now. He's going to have the upper hand for all the time, unless he has banished all of the cards with Ginzburg Orochi.
So
But I mean, he cannot access the battle phase. And this is looking really bad for Emidio. Pascal might actually have this.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it. It's not too much time left here. Pascal did not hit with...
He can just go into
it again.
Hayata and then win for win.
Or he can also just attack the Galatea, and that is
Yes,
definitely enough
Galatea
damage, because
should be
too
enough.
many spells in the graveyard right there. Let's count it through. It should be well over 15 by now.
So time is called, so Pascal Kihm should have this. He should advance to the semifinals of YCS London.
Apparently he is. Let's see Emidio still thinking about it, but I cannot see a way of him actually preventing Pascal from winning this match.
You have one phase in your opponent's turn to deal damage. Go.
I don't know.
Wait,
Cracker?
This is a handshake.
There it
This is a
is.
handshake.
We
Pascal
have
Kihm
it.
actually takes this and he advances to the semifinals of YCS London. Wow, that was a long and drained out match game too.
Sky Striker still being in the top contention. Sky Striker still being one of the top meta decks.
That is a surprise. That's a major upset.
Not really a surprise, right?
Okay, that isn't a surprise. You're absolutely right. The deck is still strong.
I was kind of expecting it before the event because people were picking up on the deck again. People that have been playing it for a long time. And at the end of the last format, even saying it's not that good anymore. But now the Widow Anchor is limited, and still they were like, it seems to be pretty good at the moment because the metagame is so diverse, and Sky Striker has a pretty good all-around matchup.
And they can play all those powerful trap cards now. The format is slow enough so you can run Get Out. Get Out. I am very sad that we didn't see the card this matchup because this must be crazy when it resolves. Like just shuffling back Dingirsu or Longirsu or Galatea, basically Orcust cards.
Definitely.
And wow, this must have such a huge impact. I mean, Galatea is a link too, so it's basically worth 2 cards.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this could be a +2 then.
So that was another 2-0 victory
I should
for
stop
Pascal.
the quotation marks.
So he's still undefeated in this tournament.
Yeah, indeed.
And by looking at the bracket, we can already tell you that he's going to face either Tom Kaleinegräber or the David Erpen.
Yeah.
So both very, very confident players. So that next game will be very hard for him for sure. But I mean, it's the semi-finals of a YCS.
The
so this
semi-finals
game
will always be hard.
will definitely be hard. And then I'm also looking forward to the winners of the other matches, like Joshua Schmidt versus Khalil Sankt Angie. That's a pretty good one too. And then Dinkang Pham versus Lucas Lancelot. I'm like so hyped for who is in the semi-finals.
Indeed.
And for now, I just want to hear from the winner of our featured match. So I think he is definitely ready to talk. He's super confident with his deck. And I just want to hear from Pascal Kihm and JJ now.
Now I am here with a top 8 going to top 4 finalists of YCS London. How are you feeling, Pascal? How do you played a stunning game? How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm feeling kind of good. I mean, I'm a bit sick, but yeah, it's all right. I'm at top 4, so it's worth it.
Well, get well soon. Hope you're feeling a bit better. I hope, having yourself a YCF trophy, potentially having yourself a YCS trophy, can make you feel a little bit better.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, could you walk us through the, game 1, game 1 and 2, how that actually went for you? Because I saw, you played immaculately. We wouldn't even think, looking back, oh, this deck was actually hit or anything. You played it so well.
Yeah. Regarding to the games now, game 1 was kind of more or less easy because he bricked and I had a good opening and had the answers to his cards. Game 2 was kind of hard because he would be able to outgrind me, but I saw that we have not enough time, so I just played it out and hoped that it would be enough. And yeah, that's it.
I guess it probably had a lot to do with like both your decks are probably brought down to sort of the equal level, so that both of you are playing a very equally slow game. But I guess because you're able to filter through your deck a lot, that you were able to get all the pieces that you need to put you a little bit forward, or no?
Yeah. Short answers.
So what are you feeling going into the weekend now, going to your top 4, and you're thinking to yourself like, this was good. This is it.
Yeah, for sure. Until now, I'm undefeated, as I said before, and I made everything right with the deck, and yeah, we will see.
All right. Thank you, man. Now there will be still these 4 duelists still coming up, but there'll be more coverage after this.